welcome back. Welcome to the end. Iceberg Loungers, you've been riding with us from the beginning. It is the 8th and final episode, I think, of the Penguin podcast on DC Studios Podcast. For now, we are here to review the last episode. This incredible show is coming to an end, or is at an end, now that you're listening to this, and it has been amazing and wonderful, and this episode was crazy. Andy, how are you doing? I know you did something really cool recently. Talk about that a little bit. And
I was at Comic-Con Stockholm, and I met the one and only Tom Welling, who for if say for people who live under a rock, Tom Welling is he was the lead of Smallville. He played Clark Kent, aka Superman, for 10 years, and we did the autograph, photo op stuff, and then also I did an interview with him in person. And so and then I did a lot of shopping, and so there's new comic art that I got. There's a whole box next to me that I'm probably gonna do a YouTube video on at some point. But it was fun. Um, so I've just been staying busy. But yeah, I cannot believe it's at the I mean I'm being careful calling this a series finale, because I'm because there could be a second season if they decide to. I mean, I'm sure they're at least with the way the ratings have been and everything, I'm sure they're at least trying to look and see could we do it? But then again, this kind of takes me back to the days of Watchmen, when we were all
I know.
there must be a way they're gonna do another season. Then there must be a way. I'm not mad that they didn't do season 2 of Watchmen, but I felt with Penguin, I felt there's a reason I think there could be another season. But then again, if they're doing other spin-offs with the Batman universe, I'm okay, we can focus on that in that case. That's perfectly fine.
I think because of the Batman 2, I genuinely don't know if we're gonna get another Penguin in its form. I do feel like they'll likely extend this type of idea where they focus on different villains that either get introduced in the Batman, or they just want to focus on to set up for another movie, or just expand that universe. They've seen how successful this is. I can't imagine that they're not already having the conversation. If they don't pursue a Penguin 2, they could do something else. They could even do a Gotham crime family story where they focus on the Maronis, maybe just obviously this would be a backstory because
because they're all dead.
But and the Falcons, what was the center of their their animosity? There's a lot of stories you can tell in this universe. I really genuinely hope, and I really just want to see Alberto Falcone again, my baby. I genuinely think there's so much more they can do, and I do hope they're exploring this, because this is their biggest success this year for the last 2 years for DC. So I really genuinely hope they're taking this and running with it. Batman, this whole universe, Matt Reeves versus the most successful live action project so far. So I genuinely hope that this is not the end for whatever form this takes. I hope it's not the end. So we don't have any confirmation of that. So right now, this is the one and only season of the Penguin. But as aside for DC Studios news, a couple of items. DC Universe picked up another, as a Boardwalk Empire fanatic, I've talked about it on many podcasts before, picked up another Boardwalk Empire alum. Kelly MacDonald, who plays Margaret Schroeder on Boardwalk Empire, is going to be on the Lanterns as a sheriff, I believe. And then some dude named Garrett Dillahunt, I don't know who that is, but he's also joining Lanterns in a role that is recurring and that people will recognize, but I don't think they've specified who he's going to be. So I wonder if he's just going to be like a lamp. I wonder if he's going to be Kilowog, because I would love to see Kilowog in this show to keep it a little bit lighter and fun. He's a fun character, but we'll see. That's the only news I think is coming. And then Creature Commandos is coming in December. I won't be watching it, but we will be covering it on the network. Somebody will be doing it. I am just I'm not super interested in it. But if people are blah about it, I will check it out, because if I can be persuaded by people.
Vanessa's not impossible. She's been
I could come back. I could come for it, but it depends on basically how people are receiving it. This is Gunn's first project, right? That's coming
It
into.
is, yeah, it will be the first thing to come
So I
out.
think that alone is right. That's a big deal. It's a
Yeah.
big deal for people.
Yeah, I just went to look at the casting again for Lanterns because I'm like, because again, I don't know who either these two people are. I know people were very excited for Kelly McDonald because she was
So good.
Rogue Empire. Is that the show that Michael Shannon was on?
Yes, Michael Shannon was on it. They picked up DC's picked up a lot, but this is also like the same family. HBO, Warner Brothers, DC are all in the same family, so
I
it makes
mean,
sense. But it's like a really good show. Steve Buscemi, it was Steve Buscemi's like breakout into not being a comedic actor anymore. This was his first big serious role, and I think he was nominated / maybe won. The show has phenomenal acting. It's set in the Prohibition era. Basically the rise of mobsters, gangs. Michael Zegan, who played Alberto Falcone, plays Bugsy Siegel, who actually is a real life gangster who built the city that I lived in. Vegas was created as a mob city, built by Bugsy Siegel. So I actually love mob. We actually have a mob museum. I'm obsessed with mob culture. I think it's so interesting and fascinating because America banning alcohol completely created the rise of these gangs and the organized crime families and the 5 families in New York, which coincidentally inspired like that's what the Gotham crime families are inspired by. So I think it's all like interesting. But yeah, Kelly John's great. Sorry, you were saying something. My bad.
yeah. No, I think the characters, because she's playing someone named Sheriff Carey, and then the other dude is playing modern cowboy William Macon, and
Not
I'm like, where are these? Where are other combo characters at?
maybe they're going for like they said it was like a kind of like a buddy cop, well, not buddy cop, like a cop western sort of like
True
feel, like
Detective.
Miami Vice sort of deal. I don't know. So I hope that we'll see other, but I don't know. We may not see other Lanterns, but I do hope we see other like comic characters. We may. Hal has like we could see Carol Ferris, and other characters that are like in their vicinity but aren't like actual superhero. Well, Carol Ferris is in some versions of Starfire, but I doubt they'll do that in the show. That would be wild. Anyway, comic
Kind of be
books.
cool. Kind of be cool seeing an old, like because Hal is going to be older. Could be kind
Yes,
of fun seeing like
be
old.
married. Yeah, I mean, he could be. I would be interested in seeing him in like being like a kind of in a dysfunctional marriage, and like I got the missus is annoying me.
Listen, I'll take a dysfunctional marriage over the thing that we don't talk about with Hal Jordan DC Comics, because that's
Oh,
just
that no, they don't. They're not
yeah.
gonna, I think we're past. This isn't what's it, the guy who created made Euphoria. That's not he's not one of the writers on that, so we won't see something like that. That is direct. That's a read. That is actually, is that shade? That's shade. That's shade. That was shade. That was shade. What? I don't know. What's his name? Sam White or whatever? Sean White? Not Sean White's a ski. Anyway. Just saying. I think we're safe.
The way she just came for Euphoria out of nowhere.
Euphoria is such a gross show. Like I said this on Twitter. We need to bring actual shows for high schoolers, like starring high schoolers back. Like CW was like the last bastion of that, and that's gone. Like that.
Well, let's not give them too much credit because
They
CW
were though. Stargirl and like Naomi and All American. They were like where are the teen shows? You know what I'm saying? This is not what this is about, but like there aren't a lot of teen shows that focus on teen lives that isn't over sexualizing them, played by 25 to 30-year-olds. You know what I mean? Which is Euphoria.
Yeah, Euphoria is because I watched Euphoria and like I kind of regret that I got into it because now I'm like, well, fuck, I now kind of see I need to see how it ends.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Whenever season 3 decides to actually happen, because
Yeah.
Vanessa, can you imagine like working on marketing for Euphoria for a show that came out like for season 2 that came out like 4 years ago?
Dude, it's bad. It's so bad. Like unbelievable how much time is happening between these seasons. Complete like House of the Dragon show is the same way. Like it's so stupid.
It was not as bad as Euphoria because Euphoria was like I think like the last season was like in
I think that's more
2022.
because of Zendaya. Like there's like some of the stars have massive schedules, and I feel like they're planning around Zendaya's schedule more than
I
anything.
mean, I'm happy I'm happy that she's staying busy and as far far away from the Euphoria team as possible. But I'm like, yeah, this third season, I feel like that's gonna be it's probably gonna be the final one. Yeah, because I'm like,
Yeah.
but yeah. So we had more news. You said something in the comic world.
Oh, yes, just briefly, check out Absolute Superman, that just came out. Check out Absolute Wonder Woman. I believe I talked about that last time. Absolute Batman's Apple. We're also getting Absolute Martian Manhunter, Absolute Flash as well. So
Ugh.
these are shush. These are all these stories. If you don't know what the Absolute universe is, these are stories set in a universe where Darkseid created in his own image. So the stories are about heroes and like a little bit of origin, but like completely changed where they're facing more hardship. So Bruce is actually Batman was raised with his mom, but they're poor. So Martha Wayne is alive in that universe. Diana was raised in hell by Cersei, so she has does not have the support of her sisters or her gods. Absolute Superman actually was raised all the way up until he was a teenager on his planet until it just destroyed, and he came here and now he's like hiding and fighting like the good fight for the workers. I really loved Absolute Superman, so good. And Absolute Martian Manhunter. The Martian is a parasitic being. It's not an actual physical being. It's a parasitic being where it attaches himself to John Jones, and like he can change his appearance based on that. It's like it's like a mind being.
Is it like Black Mercy almost?
No, it's like a being. It's like a biological being, but it can survive by like combining with the host, but they like are in communication. So that's how it's not like
Like
it's
a
not
s-
like Black
it's kind
Mercy
of
gets Black Mercy is like it's like a it's like getting poison. It's like getting poison ivy. It's like an illness. Like it's like a thing, a reaction because of a
is it
plant.
like Venom, like the like Venom
Yes,
symbiote
it's
almost?
kind of like a
Okay.
symbiote like that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how they changed that origin. Like he doesn't have a physical body. And then Absolute Flash, they removed all of his legacy. So he's basically like a little emo teenager that's just kind of figuring it out on his own. So yeah, that is interesting. And then we're also getting a absolute. I thought we were getting something else, but I can't.
Justice League?
No, we're getting Justice League Unlimited, which is coming out like really soon. But no,
Which how cool is that? It's like Justice League Unlimited by Mark Waid.
I know. Who is shout out to Mark Wade. I know he's going through it on Twitter, just like feeling
Yeah.
uninspired, and I get it. Like I cannot imagine being the main writer on Superman right now and being like, what the fuck? So
Yeah.
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 And I've actually interviewed him in over the summer at Comic-Con. So check out that interview on
Yeah.
multiverseofcolor.com. He and I actually talked about the Action Comics story that just dropped where Clark so actually gets to meet his mom, some tiny whiny stuff, and he's like, "Oh, her smile reminds me of Lois." He and I talked about that. I was like, "That's so cute." Anyway, check out that interview. But yeah, that's all the news. I think we're gonna
Yeah.
talk about.
Yeah. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for all the Wally freaks out there. You got what you wanted.
Oh my god,
Um,
get over it. So Barry is fine. He's got his time. Wally,
but
listen,
it's like but now all they're going like there's no Jay, there's no Barry, there's no Barley. It's like we're
right?
just stuck with what.
It's just an Elseworlds. It's like all Elseworlds. They'll
You
run
know
it.
what I actually would have preferred? I would have preferred like, if like they had made like a girl the Flash and like they could have like maybe Jesse Quick was
That would
like
have
the
been.
Flash.
I would have loved that actually.
Um,
Unfortunately, they're not that. They don't. I don't think they ever want to go that creative. I would have preferred a female Flash. But whatever. Anyway, let's talk about Penguin. The Penguin
the
finale.
finale.
All right, y'all.
Okay,
I
by the way, this is the last spoiler warning. If you guys haven't watched that,
yeah. Seriously,
fuck,
do not listen to
fuck,
this.
fuck, that's on you. But it's not, But like, yeah, we're giving you a spoiler warning. Because by the
Yes.
time you're watching it, it should be up on Max and
Yeah.
streaming right now. So,
Yeah.
holy shit, Vanessa.
A great or little thing. This is the finale, and yeah, my first reaction when I saw a certain thing that happened in this episode that we'll talk about, I messaged Andy. I had to edit the message. I was like, I don't know if you've seen it yet. I was bawling. This show is so good. It gave us so much. It built up so much to get to this point, to a pretty fucking perfect finale. I don't even know if it's a complaint. It's just a minor like critique, and that's at the very end because they made a bigger deal about it. And I was wondering why they never closed that tie, but we'll talk about that later. I think this is a perfect finale. What did you think overall?
I mean, you know, I can't complain. Like again, because I rewatched it so many times, and I'm just like, Yeah, as a critic, I'm thinking, like, okay, like I don't want to be just gushing about it, but I'm like, I generally cannot find anything that I find like, like this is, and even because we've talked about it in previous episodes that if there's any critique to give this show, it is some of the editing where like some things are like just so sudden. Um,
Mhm.
Again, I really hope we get to see some of these things on like the Blu-ray and DVD when Penguin comes out. But no, but like I'm watching the finale like a fourth time. I'm like, this is too good. This is too good to be true. And yeah, I again, like I said, if this is the kind of quality we're gonna get on HBO with DC content, like I am in for all of it. Like just bring it on all. And I'm if we don't get Penguin season two, I just hope that Matt Reeves hires Lauren LaFranc for something more. Like maybe she will co-write Batman Part Two or Part Three with him, or something. Like do another spin-off. Like she, you know, and this is some of the best DC content we've seen in forever. And there's so much to talk about. So like, what do you want to get into
Yeah,
first?
I'm gonna break it down a little bit. I'm gonna take all of. We're gonna talk about all of Vic in one section, because I think that he deserves his own time. But I wanted to like start with like the very thing that like the driving part of the show, Oz's relationship with his mother. We get a
Mm,
memory, right, of like how his brothers died, and then we get more backstory because of you know Julian's uh, unethical methods. We get actual truth that actually Frances knew pretty much from jump because the cops told her that. Yeah, she pretty much figured out Oz killed her sons, killed his brothers. She wanted Rex to kill her son. So this core memory that formed little Oz's core belief was based on a lie. His mom didn't break out of her depression and grief just for him to take, and then like took him out a night, and like this whole memory that has been a through line this whole season that he told Sophia about, that they basically bonded over. That's why she's sought him out after her own family rejected him, was built on a lie. Frances knew she was going to have that man kill her son. But he, in his own Oz way, Oz has been like this since he was a child. He could talk his fucking way out of anything. That's crazy. What did
mm-hmm.
you think about that? And then the fact that like we get to that confrontation later, where Francis like, bro, you would let my finger get fucking chopped off, and he keeps the lie up. It's like he believes it. What did you think about it all? I just need to talk. We need to talk about Oz and Francis.
Yeah, I mean, he is so narcissistic that he really probably didn't think. Like, he probably in his mind think that, well, I didn't try to kill them. I just locked them in. I was just pranking them and whatever and so on. It just shows you like his psyche in a lot of ways. Um, I also thought it was because this what a even though I hate Julian for all my all intents and purposes, it was clever that through that little hypnotic machine that instead of having like the young actors of Francis being in there, like we had our actual act our main actors, like she gets to like reenact that whole night,
Mhm.
which I think that was pretty cool. um that whole scene when they're like, I really thought they were gonna kill her.
Oh
I
my
really,
god.
I'm like,
I mean, well,
But, and again, because I get, like, even though I understand that this is a show about villains, when it's so like, death is gonna come. It was just like very disturbing, like having to see like, a woman who, she's dealing with, she has a lot of issues mentally, whatever. And so like, I don't, she's an older woman. Like, I don't like seeing someone like her get killed by a gun or something like that. So again, like the fact I was like, oh, it's like you're really a coward. And I'm just thinking like does it I wanna, like, go into his brain and just see, like, does he really think that he was like, "Oh, I did was an act. I didn't try to kill them," or, like, is it just his way of talking things out? Like, it's just goes to show, like, how good Colin is as an actor because, again, I think I think Oz really thinks of himself as as like, oh, but it was, I absolutely did not mean to kill my brother. I was just messing around. We're brothers and stuff. It's yeah, that it's disturbing, like on so many levels, because I'm like, what went wrong with him mentally, where like he can't. It's almost like he really cannot feel empathy. Like he cannot see wrong and right. He can just see, basically himself in the spotlight.
Hmm. And Sophia plays off that. She plays games with him, trying to get Oz to admit it, and he won't. So, and Francis fucking stabs him. She told Rex earlier in the memory, she's like, I got the devil in my house. And then she's like, that's she's trying to get him out. And that's some, that is so intense, like a mother trying to kill her son, especially one that's so devoted to her in his own mind. And then she sees her sons, and then she like collapses. All hell breaks loose, right? And Oz escapes with his mom, gets her in the hospital. This is probably the heaviest part of, like, I think this is not even the heaviest part of the episode. I think this is where Oz is like panicking because his like whole like this thing is built, his whole life is kind of collapsing around him. If his mom had his back, he could figure everything out. But now she doesn't, like very, very much does not.
Yeah.
So we get like a lot going on that with Vic, there is the gangsters and Sophia. Vic and Sophia are both appealing to the gangsters, that they're both like to their humanity and to their community or whatever they're trying to deal with. Vic's like, we have to go after Penguin. We have to go after Oz.
Pen,
Pen!
let's go to the pen. My brother
We
Pen.
gotta go after Oz. We have to help him. And they're like, no. And Link's trying to help him out. And Sophia makes this basically opposite deal. She's a really fucking cool scene with sleigh bells of Where Did You Sleep Last Night playing in the background when she lights this house on fire with cigarettes. Oh my God, Kristen Milioti, you fucking, the woman that you are. That scene, incredible. The gangsters, like the scene where like the deputies kill their bosses, incredible. The editing in this episode, the use of music, fucking tastic. What are your thoughts on that? All that specifically?
I'm not gonna lie, I rewind to that her burning scene like over and over again, because I was like, listen, like that shit is hot.
So
Like, not to make it, a pun, but I was kind of like, listen, like, you know, like if I was a straight man, I would been like, I will marry this woman right now. Right now, I'm kind of like, she can step on me, and I would be like, does tomorrow work too?
I think I want to be
Um,
her. Yeah.
yeah, like she's like again, I kind of just want to see so much of the behind the scene footage of kind of like just seeing her like just like waltzing around and like just throwing things and just lighting things on fire. So yeah, it just yeah, it was very compelling to see like how like even again this is a show about villains. Like there is no true hero here.
Mhm.
It is still fascinating to see like what someone like Vic and Sophia was able to do, like in terms of how is, they're communicating with, their respective sides, like Victor's showing like the absolute loyalty, and Sophia's showing like the absolute manipulation, because she was like, I'm not giving these fools my house. I'm gonna destroy all of it.
They're fucking like,
Uh,
fuck y'all.
yeah,
In that
yeah.
red coat, the red fucking outfit.
So is that something like is that something like a comic look she has, or like,
Yes, it is.
oh
It is. It's her. It's one of her most iconic. Like when if you Google Sophia Falcone, I'm pretty sure. Well, now you'll see Kristen Milioti, but like red is her like color. There's like this jacket she wears. I think it's at one of the funerals or something. Ooh, when I saw that red coat, I was like, that's it right there. So good. And then she always had like a red lip. Anyway, I'm very impressed with the way they like
oh yeah, I see. No,
the way
I
they
see.
weave in like her, and like the way you see her, how her hair is like kind of slicked back. The way that's
Hmm.
how they did a version of her like comic book mullet kind of hair, and I love that. I love that they were like slowly turning her into a little bit a version of the comic book character, but still keeping her own look.
Yeah, you're right. There's like 10,000 pictures of
I
Kristen
know, and now
Milioti.
it's just Kristen.
Which again, like I mean, I don't mind. I did forget on Gotham that yeah, they gave her the red. They gave her the red. the red
Mhm.
coat too.
The red is her it's really her color, yeah. Which is subtle, but it's not, like, overtly obvious, but it is pretty it's usually it's common in her because her hair is red in the comics. So, like, it's reddish in the comics. I think that's, like, they're highlighting that. Anyway, I love that
Yeah.
they were kind of, like, showing that off. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's like again because that's the thing. Like people are saying that they feel that like Penguin has been like, oh, they're just they're just inventing so much stuff from and not going from comics. Like no, there's like subtle
Which is fine
things.
too. They can do their own story. I think it's actually pretty respectful, but the basis of the story is all comic book characters. Like most of these are comic book characters, and they're just doing different versions of them. I think that's fine. We're literally in the comic books right now. Absolute universe is happening with different versions of the same characters.
Yeah,
Why is it okay for comic books to do this? Exactly, yeah. Why is it okay for comic books to do that, but not live action? We need to release our grip on this. If comic
exactly.
books can have
Yeah.
up to 15 million universes, live action can be just another one of those universes. Yeah, that's the coat.
That,
It's like a red coat. Yeah.
also I remember Crystal Reed. This wasn't her only DC role because she then did Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing. Yes, Abigail Kane. Oh my god. Yeah. Anyway, I love her.
Well,
Love
that
that.
yeah, I
Such a good show. So gross too. Ugh. Watch. Ugh. Yeah.
it's
Uh,
not really because it was gross. I'm just kind of like, was it maybe just ahead of its time or something? I don't
No,
know.
it just flopped. No, the first season was made with grants from Georgia, and those grants were not given again, so they could not afford
Yeah.
to make it in Georgia again. And then they were like possibly about filming it in Vancouver, but they just none of the actors
Oh,
wanted to do it. Or
fuck,
something like
fuck!
that.
If they'd done this in Vancouver, I would have
The quality
screamed.
would have been terrible.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Like I like no, nothing is Vancouver. Vancouver can be great, but the
Too many
problem is that
cities, too many
we have
shows filmed there.
yeah. It's like at this point, it is sometimes so ridiculous when like I will watch an episode of Supergirl, be like, well, that's Central City. That's
Right.
Star Lab. Like,
I
oh
know.
look, that's
I
Star
love
City,
Black
and like
Lightning because it was filmed in Atlanta, and it looked different. It looked like a
yeah,
city.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
But
Back to the episode.
yeah, for people who want more things on Swamp Thing, you can go check out my interview with Mark Verheyen on the show Whisperer,
Ooh, yeah.
because he was like one of my earliest guests. So yeah, more insight there. But yeah, Sophia had she was having that the ball of the night here,
Mhm.
until she
Until
wasn't.
I know, which we will get to. But first I want to talk about Oz sticking on his feet again. He's just like, all right. Let me figure out how the fuck I can resolve this. We see the Senate or
I was
the
about to say a really bad joke.
no. Oh no. What was I gonna say? Hold up. Oh, he was with the councilman guy, the guy who like he put the pliers in his nose, which is a very uncomfortable scene. Um, we see Bella Royale in the episode, which is cool that we get to see Little Mayor, and then they're basically teasing Mayor Oz. I mean, at this point, he's got her
they
mouth.
have to.
Yeah, at this point, I have to assume he's going to be Mayor Oz by the time the Batman 2 comes out. I have to assume.
Or
But
that will be the arc for season 2.
if we listen to, I'm not. Let's just go ahead and scrap that idea. I don't think it's
Okay,
happening.
I'm
I
sorry.
genuinely
Okay,
don't think
okay,
I
okay. So
genuinely don't.
in Batman Part 2, he's likely going to
He is
be
going to be in the Batman
campaigning.
2, I assume. So I just,
Well,
I
he
think
is. He is. That's what he's going to film
yeah,
next. But I'm
I think
assuming
that's the
that
next in line of.
yeah, I think the mayoral campaign could be like, because can you imagine like because that's when Bruce has to be more oh, I have thoughts
Okay,
on Bruce.
all right. Yeah, let's keep it. I only have half an hour. All right. So basically, he all the stuff. He basically outlines the entire season of what happened to the senator or to this councilman and says, it's all Sophia's fault and Sal Maroni. And he's like, okay. And he's like, I can give you this wrapped up in a bow if you give me a chance at like being a politician or whatever. And he says, you want to be welcome, you got to look clean. And I know that was foreshadowing because we see him at the end of this episode. We'll talk about that. But yeah, we have to talk about the betrayal. This whole thing was set up essentially for Sophia. Sophia walked into a trap, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised. I'm a little surprised that I don't know, but maybe it's because once again, I'm not surprised actually. Now that I thought about it, Sophia, Feng Zhao, all the bosses were up here, right? They're always thinking up here, but the deputies, the ones that Vic connected with, the ones that Penguin, that Oz like connected with, they're the ones down here. And guess what the fuck happened? Blah 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 blah. if you want, if you can, we can and extrapolate on that. But I'm just saying that's basically what happened.
No,
Sophia,
yeah, yeah, that's fine. You could. That's what that was perfectly fine.
but like I'm whoa, I just was a little, yeah, that was great. It was wonderful. And I was like, huh, this got wrapped up pretty quickly with this, like Sophia's gonna die now, and Oz is on top again, and everything's gonna work out. And like fucking look at Vic, he proved himself and all that. So cool, right? And then
Oh no.
I here's the thing. The Sophia, how it ended for Sophia, I am not wasn't sure where they were gonna go. I had a suspicion they were gonna do this, and it is probably the most devastating thing they could do to Sophia. She was just like, I'm ready to die. I've done all I needed to do. I could have escaped, but whatever. This is whatever. But the him basically playing her and like turning over, brilliant idea, brilliant plan to basically hand her back over to the feds and the whoever. But fuck that fucking holy shit. I was a little, so I was like, damn, okay. So what do we think about Sophia basically from the airfield all the way to her getting thrown back into prison? And we can talk about that letter later.
Yeah, exactly. I was afraid that I was gonna have to relive the same frustration I had to relive with her during the How I Met Your Mother series finale. I was like, are we doing this again? Are we back at CBS with this nonsense of a series finale? And here's the thing, I'm actually happy that she did survive and she got sent back to Arkham, because this means
We'll see her again.
we will see her again. That probably means that we're gonna see. She could be in Batman Part Two now. She could. That could
Mm-hmm.
be. And also because I would love to see how she acts alongside Robin Patterson, for example, and a
Rick.
different person that we will talk. Yeah, we will talk about in a moment.
Yeah.
Um, and again, as much as we're here to love to hate Oz, but again, this is a very, very smart, well written villain, to the
Mm-hmm.
point where he's playing everyone. And so no, I was very, very happy with it. And again, I'd rather she be alive,
Mm-hmm.
because then it also just shows like, okay, wow, like she'd rather be dead than being alive, and Oz has now brought her worst nightmare to life. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah, what did you think?
I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was a really smart play for him because it basically it kind of sealed. Like I said, he gave her to the feds with a bow, like a little pig trussed up, a little apple in her mouth, like straight up, like, and she has no way to defend herself. This is the second time now he has had a hand in putting her in Arkham for shit that she didn't do. That's fucking awful. For her. I'm glad that she's alive. I'm because we get to see her.
Mm.
And to continue that, we see her before we get to the Vic stuff. We do see her get a letter. Julie, I mean, I don't know if it's all bad because her sub is in, her sub's there handing her mail. So I have to assume he's still working for her, under the guise of being her doctor, Julian, that piece of shit. Who I was like, oh, I hope he died today. I thought he got shot again. Why wasn't he there? Like, why did he work
I
there?
was also convinced. I'm like, well, why are we keeping him
Why?
alive? I'm like, I just.
But that they
Uh,
kept him alive for this purpose. Like I assume he will have a role attached to her. But she does get a letter from her half sister, Selena Kyle. When I tell you, I shrieked when I was
me,
like,
me too.
ah! And this is wasn't even the only comic book like reference, Batman reference that we got in this. Like this was brilliant because both of these women have been wronged by their fucking father. They now can connect, and they're both villains. And if this is the reason why Selena comes back to Gotham, it makes so much fucking sense. I loved this so much. It was such a simple, easy way to bring in to confirm and that Selena knows who she is. That Sophia now knows that she has a fucking sister after losing her brother. Like it made my heart. I just felt so good in my heart. What did you think?
I'm not gonna lie. As soon as you started reading the letter, and she said it's from Selena, I'm like, my brain went, Matt Reeves could make the Gotham City Sirens. No, but listen, like this could be a way to do a spinoff with with those two, maybe another for Batman villainess. No, but like because I really didn't think they were gonna tap into their actual family lineage. But I'm glad they are, and I think Zoe and Kristen could be like they could be such great scene partners that I'm like
Mhm.
again like there's so much that we can get from these stories and like
Well, they look
um
alike too. That's like really good casting because I think they look alike. I do think they look like sisters, like half sisters. Like their noses, their face, like the lips. I think they look
yeah,
like.
you know what,
I
now
think
you
they
mention
look
it, I'm like I can kind of see it.
I want to see a side by. I want to look up a side by side, but I could see them being half sisters. I think it's really good casting.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be fun seeing them, like, and that will be the reason why she comes back to Gotham, and why she's probably in part two, and that's probably why Kristen is probably gonna be in part two as well. Maybe like the movie ends with them, she breaks out her sister yeah, and then they're like, let's go let's go find our first siren sister or something. I don't know.
Oh
Oh
my
come
god!
on, come on, you would eat up
I
a
know.
video game
I'm
decade.
a sorry. I'm a sirens purist. I can't have Gotham City sirens without Harley and Poison Ivy. Those are the sirens. So unless saying well those two, I cannot accept Sophia Falcone as a siren. Sorry, unfortunately. But she could be a cool antagonist. Maybe Catwoman caught between her family and her friends. Who knows? I don't know. That'd be cute.
Catwoman spinoff.
I love that. Anyway, let's get to the hardest part of this fucking
Yeah,
episode.
yeah, yeah.
Something that I have been trying not to think about. I wrote in my review that you can read online on multiversecolour.com that Victor Aguilar is the heart of the show, and I was right. Which is probably why they did what they did. They set him up to be this earnest, trying to get out of poverty kid who's just getting thrown from one bad situation to another. And he finally does some good shit, does some right, like by Oz's standards. And his worst mistake was seeing the complete collapse of Oz. Like he was there when his Oz found out his mom was in a coma, and she can't come out of, or she's in a vegetative state. I'm sorry that
Yeah,
she
yeah.
can't come out of. So he not only was witness to that, which is a deeply vulnerable state that Oz is in, but he also made the mistake of saying, "You're like family to me," and Oz literally goes, "Oh man, like I wish you hadn't said that," and fucking strangles him. I and it was so devastated. I was like, no. This is as soon as I saw them, I was like, this is bad. This is bad. Run, Vic, run. You should have left. You should have never stayed. Kills him, takes his ID, and throws it in the river, which is symbolic of how Victor's family died. If he had been with his family that night, he would have been lost in the water too. So I think that's also devastating because no one's going to know who this unidentified black boy in the park is going to be. So he's just another statistic. So that's also fucking devastating. Everything about Vic's life and death, fucking heartbreaking. I'm gonna cry again. I love this character so much, and they did such a good job with making us love him. And I know that we're speculating the whole series that Sophia's gonna kill him. He's gonna, oh my god, we're gonna lose him, and they're like, how? No, I don't think. I'm sure some people anticipated, but I don't think most people anticipated that it was gonna be Oz who clears the board. You can't have anyone that remembers him, his vulnerability, anyone that thinks of him as family. He's learned his lesson from his mom. He's learned his lessons from his brothers. He's not doing that again. He already knows he can't do this. So to be the Penguin, he cuts up. He's done. He's just killed him. And yeah. What do you think?
I mean, as it was happening, this was me in a nutshell.
What the fuck is going on in here on this day?
We need a little palate cleanser, it's been a very, very dark week, and but this has been a very dark finale. So, yeah, it was. I was so angry. I was like, Andy, that Penguin is a villain.
I
Like,
know.
Andy, why are you being why are you being a stupid bitch right now and not realizing that like this was you knew he was gonna do something so maddening it will piss you off. And
Mhm.
yeah, I had to, because now I can see because this will be up at 10 p.m. on Sunday. But I had a chance to speak to Renzi Feliz, who our beloved Victor for Screen Rant, and we had had a really good conversation about again this was something he had like definitely planned for like this. He got told from the beginning
Mhm.
that this stuff was coming from before they even started shooting the pilot, I think, and like he said something like that he and Colin like essentially like they were like talking about it, like leading up to that day when they had to film it. Surprisingly enough, they were filming out in the open, but there were no paparazzi. So like he was even surprised too that nobody like that this didn't get
Oh,
leaked or anything.
interesting. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's very open. Yeah.
but it
Thank you
was
for that
very
insight. Yeah.
sad,
Yeah.
and and as you can like hear and go like, oh,
No, stop.
sorry,
I
I
can't.
could.
That's traumatizing. That is
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
traumatizing.
yeah, it's like because I had to suffer it, so I'm reminding
I
you
already
to
heard. I
suffer it
suffered
too.
already. I'm
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. So like and I didn't even think about the fact like like when he dropped the driver's license or ID card like in the water, it was like supposed to be like a poetic to how his parents died. And yeah, listen, like as a man of color myself, I like this is what happens. Now he becomes an unidentified black kid who um is part of the numbers. It's scary. It's very scary. But again, like Renzi absolutely killed it this season, and I'm hoping that again I cannot wait to see what he does next. Um, but yeah, it's interesting because I even asked him this, but I kind of wanted to see what you thought about it too, because if Oz is so concerned about getting rid of his vulnerabilities around him, then why does he let Eve
We'll
live?
talk about that.
Yeah, yeah. But it was sad. It was heartbreaking, and I'm just
Yeah. I want to have a moment of silence for Vic. Shout out to Vic. R.I.P. Rest in power. You were such a good character, and it's usually not easy for a completely new made up character to capture everyone. Like capture like we're
yeah.
DC audiences, as franchise audiences are very established. We're like, we only want our characters. We don't want anyone new. But they did a really good job. He did a great job. So shout out to Renee, Elise, and shout out to the writers of this character because they killed it. They really, literally.
Vanessa.
Sorry, I had to make a joke. But yeah, we're leading into your question leads us into the last couple parts of the episode. I want to point out something. A couple episodes ago, Frances had an episode where she couldn't remember something. She's had like a dementia thing where she was in the bathtub. And she tells Oz after he gets her out, warms her up. She's like, I don't want this to go any further. I want you to kill me. If it progresses any further, you need to kill me. You have to kill me. Do not let me live like this. I don't want to live like this. And he promises her. So of course he fucking broke that promise. Because where is she? In a fucking empty room, in a vegetative state, tears running down her face, because her son won't let her die like he promised. So once again, Oz is selfish as shit, does never cared about his mother, only cares about her, what she can give to him. Make me proud, make me, or be proud of me, be proud of me. And that's all he cared about. That's all he cared about in the end. And he never got to hear that from her. And that's like, essentially, I feel like he's punishing her for that. We also get to see Oswald Cobb in tails and a little, what does he have? Tails and a hat. Did he have a hat? A little,
He had a hat, but he didn't put it on. I'm like, you motherfuckers! You can't just give him. Because I remember the day that that photo came out when he was dressed up like that and he was holding a hat. I'm just like, guys, like we're so close, and then the episode doesn't actually have him putting on the hat. I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's like Smallville. He put his cape on. But I loved it.
No,
I thought
it's not like that at all. Don't even compare the two.
the cape in the hat. I love that we saw him in his outfit. We see as he leaves his mom's room. This gets so weird. This relationship with his mom is so fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
we see what looks like when he first walks into the room, I genuinely think I thought he was having a hallucination of his mom, but a younger version of his mom, because that's how much Eve from afar looked like his young mom. Same dress, same hairstyle. This is creepy, fundamentally fucking creepy, because she's a sex worker that he has sex with, that he pays to have sex with, and he has dressed her up as his mother and has her pretending to be his mother, saying that she's proud of him and all this stuff as they dance to her favorite music, right? To Francis's favorite songs. I don't want to know what they do after that. I don't want to know. But it's weird.
No, it's not Riverdale.
This is weird. It's very strange. It's very weird. And also, they confirm this. I think Lauren LaFranca or someone confirmed this later that this is proto Clayface. Like, this is Eve Carlo essentially changes her look to be whatever Oz wants her to be. So in a way that is like a real life Clayface. I think that's clever, and I think that's interesting. But there is a loose end right? You asked this question, like vulnerability. Eve. He may not see Eve as like someone he can be. She never saw him break down with his mother like Vic did. She hasn't seen nearly as many vulnerable moments. But I also am like, we never got to tie up the whole part where she snitched to Sophia. The whole reason why Sophia had his mom in the first place was because of Eve. We never got a resolution to that. So I think that's the only thing I was like, damn, we didn't really, are they going to address that later? Or is it just like, fuck it, she played him, that works. Like, that's the only thing I was like, about. And as they pull away, we see the bat symbol in the sky. We see the bat symbol in the sky. So we'll talk about that in a second. What did you think about the end of the episode with Oz, the suit, the mom thing, the Eve thing?
Yeah, I really don't really want to talk about the Eve thing, because like it's
so gross.
Because it now, like, I have all these questions, like, does he want to? Yeah, exactly. So I'm interested to see what Eve was going to do in the future of the Batman universe. I'll say that it was cool seeing Oswald. It was cool seeing Oz like in his more traditional outfit, even though they robbed me of a hat. I'm like you can't like fucking do this to us. Like, be so fucking real. Like, this is not fair. So he better have a hat on, at least in the Batman Part 2. Otherwise, I'm just like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Unless Colin's like, I have a thing against hats, like, like, I don't know. No, I don't want to talk. I don't really want to talk more about this because, like,
you don't have to. What do you think about him breaking his promise to his mom, though?
Oh, it's on brand for him. Like, like, of course he would fuck something up like that. Now I wonder like how long she's gonna like, because if she were to come out of her vegetative state,
that's not likely.
But again, it's a combo universe. Like, anything is possible.
True,
like,
that's fair.
If she were to come out of it, like, I really would want to see what happened. But otherwise, I'm like, how long will he keep her alive? Like, because yeah, it's
yeah.
But then a little tag at the end.
We got Batman.
Yeah, in the sky.
In the sky.
That was it. I am happy that he didn't show up in the show, like, because it also shows that he has things to learn. Because in a lot of ways, he failed people like Victor,
he did,
by not being a ground point. So, and now it kind of gives an idea, I guess, like how much time has now passed between, Batman, Penguin, and what it leads into Part 2. Because now, like, he is probably now back in duty. And like the GCPD are still relying on him. So yeah, I'm glad they didn't give in to putting Robert in the show, because like there were people who were like, oh, Matt Reeves is just lying, he's gonna be in the finale, they're just lying, they're just pretending he's not in it. I'm like, guys, we don't need to have him in it.
I was like, yeah, we don't really need to have Batman in the show, but I appreciate them having the bat symbol appear in the sky. Like, that would appear in Gotham. That's like normal. So yeah, but that also establishes how much time has passed between Batman and the Penguin, but also between when Oz killed Vic and when the bat symbol goes in the sky, because bat symbol like how much is, I'm curious about that. So yeah,
Oh my god, Vanessa, I just had a devastating thought. What if the reason the signal went on is because the GCPD found his body? And that's like the first thing they're going to investigate.
I don't think they would light the symbol for a dead kid in the park. I'm sorry. Usually it's for like a serial killer or like something crazy going on, but they're not lighting a black symbol for a black kid in the park. That's not happening. That's not happening. And also, a lot of times, like he would have been dead, gone. But they probably found him and then identified him by now. Like that, like he not identified him. They probably found him and like he's in the morgue by now. It's his identification that's like lost. But they definitely his body's probably gone by now. It's been some time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
Anyway,
what a great send off for the show, and yeah, I'm like now like really curious what's gonna happen, like how people are gonna react to this on Sunday, because we're recording this on Friday, so like that's been like one of the most fun parts for me and Vanessa is just kind of like we talk about it and then we go on Twitter on Sundays and just see like what people are saying, and it's always like, oh yeah, there you go.
I know. I'm excited to see the reaction, especially to the Vic stuff and the Sophia Selena connection. Really excited. And like this is probably the most references we got to like the larger comic book universe and comic book stuff. So I hope people are happy and satisfied because I was very, very thrilled with this season, with this show, with this episode. Everyone did a fantastic job. Clancy Brown, Mark Strong, like we'll talk about Michael Zegan, we'll talk about the other, like we talk about like the three main characters, but I feel like all the like the other characters or the other actors did such a fantastic job. I think her name's Carmen, I can't remember the actress who plays Eve, but she did a fantastic job. I think everyone just like did so well. What were your final thoughts on the season and the episode?
10 out of 10, and I'm excited to see where this universe goes next.
Yes. Here's hoping we actually do get some more exploration with Sophia and Selena. That's what I'm most interested in. Like I could give her pause, but I really would love some more. Like honestly, I genuinely am like I got enough of Oz for right now that
you're Oz'd out.
Yeah, I am Oz'd out. I want to see more of this universe, the same flavor, the same writers, same actors, but I want to see more of like other villains. So I do understand everyone else's thirst for wanting like this exact same format for other villains. I would love to see that too. That would be cool. So hopefully that's in the plans. But yeah. Visit multiverseofcolor.com to read all of the interviews, the articles, the reviews that we have referenced in this episode. We have many more to come. This team will be covering Creature Commandos in December. We'll also have lots going on. We're hoping to be like CinemaCon will be coming up in the next few months. I was thinking about what my next thing would be, hopefully for Multiverse. Hopefully I'll be able to go again. And this, James Gunn called it this year. Next year will be the summer of Superman. So it'll be a big splash at CinemaCon next year. So I'm just excited for Superman. I'm excited for 2025 and Superman. I need something to hold on to because this has been a rough week. So anyway, you can follow us on social media, at Multiverse of Color, at DC Studio Podcast on Twitter, at the Multiverse of Color on Instagram, Threads, which I'm trying to be more active on. So follow me on Threads, at Vanessa Shark. I'll plug that later. But anyway, at DC Studios Podcast and at Multiverse of Color on Facebook. All of our interviews and shorts are on YouTube at Multiverse of Color. Subscribe to our mega feed, buy shit on our public store, check out our website, interact with us, engage with us. Email DC Studio Podcast at Gmail for longer listener feedback. If you have feedback on the episode, the finale, stuff that's coming up. We'll probably also do periodic episodes at some point just to cover DC news. And yeah, where can our loungers find
our loungers can find
yeah, where can our loungers find
our loungers can find me at Anybite on all social media. I'm a senior writer for ScreenRant.com. I have lots of my Tom Welling interview is up by now. You can go check out my Renzi Feliz interview as he says goodbye to Victor with us. And I'm also the host of Showrunner Whisperer at showrunnerwhisperer.com here on Multiverse of Color, which will be hopefully coming back for at least like another episode this fall. Because I have episodes in the can. It's just a matter of getting a time to put it all out. I just always been a very busy year, so I'm ready for a vacation. And yeah, I stream on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube at Anubite, so check me out there. And Vanessa, where are you at? Shork.
Vanessa Shark. You can find me at Vanessa Shark on everything. I'm trying to be more active on Threads. I'm trying to only use Twitter to promote, podcast stuff, because otherwise I don't want to really use it. It's accessible now. So I'm trying to be more active on Threads. Follow me. Seriously, I will follow you back. I'll interact with you. I genuinely I want to use it more. So let's do this. And I'm also, VanessaShark.com. I have not updated it, so whatever. Multiverseofcolor.com. I have stuff on there. I'm working on a news story. Hopefully we'll get that up soon. And you could check us out anytime on our past episodes. I don't know. I was trying to set a send out, but I'm gonna miss I genuinely am gonna miss recording this, because it's one of the first time. It's the first time since Watchmen where I've gotten to be a part of a podcast for a show that's genuinely well critiqued, and like I look forward to it. It's like event television, and it's nice. And everyone's paying attention to it. It's not just our niche DC fans. So I hope we'll be back together doing that again. So
we're gonna have plenty of shows to do that with, So it's but yeah, I'll be back for these dudes podcast when it comes to Future Command, and we'll see who else we get, and hopefully Vanessa, we will have Vanessa on for an episode or two.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's almost something I am not supposed to say. So we will go from there. But yeah, eyes loungers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.